Did you think it was headed in that direction?
He thinks that he's a diva, and he thinks that he can call me all the time and complain about his life. And call me when he needs something. All the time I say, why are you calling me to complain about this situation? Your abogada, your lawyer, nothing. Why are you doing this to me? It's just about him. And I'm sorry because I'm upset right now.
It's you. That's just so funny to me. Because Tim has accused me of using Veronica this whole time. So I'm just like, wow, it's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
You know, when is it ever going to end for Tim? Probably never. Why? Well, because it's Tim. Let that sink in.
We focus on. Like, it's the biggest deal in the world. It's like, why didn't you try to have sex with this girl? Who cares?
It's just normal.
We're just like
if I like you, I just want to talk to you. I like him so many times. All the time, he say he's sick. He's back. He's mouth. He's just in my apartment. And I say, can you stop after the concert to see me, to say hi? He say, no, I can't. Friday is for boys. And we are going to eat tacos, and we are going to play games.
And
you know, generally speaking, if somebody tries to make plans with somebody multiple times and that person keeps giving excuses, it usually means that that person isn't interested. But to be fair with you, I do question, why did Louisa keep trying so much with him, to be honest with you. That I find quite strange, to be fair. You know, at the end of the day, let's look at it this way. The way Louisa has been portrayed, I mean, she's been portrayed as this beautiful woman, you know, who any guy would want to have and all that kind of stuff. So why is she putting herself in a position where she's chasing Tim? I mean, let's just let that sink in. I mean, listen, you can take this as a disrespectful comment, but if there was a way to lower... If there was a way to lower your worth or lower your attraction or lower people wanting you, it would be going on national television and telling people no that you was chasing Tim. Yeah. Take that as I said it. Yes, exactly how I said it. Because personally for me, if I was to walk on the street now and I saw Louisa, I'd be like, oh, you're the woman that was chasing Tim. Anyway, let's continue.
You know, I talked about her for years.
Maybe my friends are right, and he's not into me, and he's not into any woman. I really think that you are gay.
Oh.
I just want to say about Tim that I don't think he's gay.
This is not the first time you've heard someone's...
I don't give a what people say, to be honest. It doesn't bother me. They're going to continue to say that for another 5 or 10 years. It's part of my life.
It's possible Tim has low T.
Oh, low testosterone. What?
And that's why maybe he doesn't have the sexual drive yet.
I've told him that. He's pretty low energy, so it makes sense.
Right.
I have low energy.
I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to be one of the biggest BS's I've ever heard in my life. Low on T, low on testosterone, right, does not make you become less attracted to the sex that you are attracted to. Yes, it means that, you know, it may be harder for you to, you know, get down to business. Fair enough. But when it comes to attraction, I didn't realize attraction was based on testosterone. I mean, hear me out, like, a woman's attraction to a man, right? It's not based on, is it hormones? That's the difference between men have testosterone, women have hormones, right? Yeah, it must be that, yeah. I sound dumb as hell, but let's just run with that anyway. I should be right. I didn't realize if a woman has a low hormones or whatever you want to call it, that she's going to be less attracted to somebody. She's going to want someone less. That doesn't make any sense to the remote. And to be fair though, John actually contradicts himself, because you see, John comes in next, and I want you to listen to what John says.
It's pretty low energy, so it makes sense.
Right.
I have low energy. I take injections, I know. Got checked, now I just inject myself, you know what I'm saying? And then, bam, hammer.
So here's the thing. How did John know that he may have low test? What put him in that position? Simple. John would have been in a position where he was looking around at women, you know, thinking, oh, I really want her. But my drive, it's not what's happening? Or he's put himself in those positions, they've gone to do it, something hasn't worked for him, so he's been like, what's the problem? Therefore, he's obviously gone and got tested. But the point being is that John would have had to even think about that idea, okay? He would have had to have actually tried to get with women. He would have had to try to. He would have been in a position where he would have been like, hey, I find you attractive. Now let me lay down the smackdown. And let's be real. Kissing, hugging, what's that got to do with testosterone levels? Testosterone levels only really impact you when it comes to the intimacy, right? Performance. It impacts you based on performance. It doesn't impact you based on wanting to kiss someone or hug someone. Not at all. So to be fair, the fact that they're running with this narrative about testosterone levels being low is why his attraction to women or whatever it is the reason why he's behaved this way. It's crazy. And another thing as well, because John obviously spoke about, obviously got tested and now he just injects himself. For the people who don't know, and I'm pretty sure this is what John is talking about, I'm pretty sure he's talking about TRT, which is testosterone recovery therapy or therapy recovery testosterone. it's testosterone recovery therapy, yeah, which is technically a form of a steroid, because it is something that is now used heavily within the bodybuilding world, the weightlifting world of any kind. It's something that people take now to get jacked and to look. So when you see certain actors or certain wrestlers or certain, you know, bodybuilders or whatever, or powerlifters or whatnot, you know, there's a form of the fact that they may actually be on that, because obviously that boosts up your testosterone levels, obviously skyrocket, and then obviously when you go to the gym and you work out, obviously it makes your muscles all that kind of stuff. So it is quite interesting though when John mentioned that. So then I also thought on the other side, the other reason why John probably knew about TRT was probably because of his brother, because we know that Patrick has a history of taking steroids. Because obviously Patrick spoke about that on his season 2. Anyway, I just wanted to add this information as just information, to be fair with you. But either way, though, it doesn't take away from the point that testosterone, having a lot of T, is not the reason why Tim is like this. I refuse to believe that. Refuse to believe that. Okay. 100%. End of the day, if he has lack of attraction to women, there's a different reason behind it. He says he's not gay. All right, cool. We'll believe him. So what is it then? What is the issue? What's going to make Tim finally want to actually be with a woman the way she wants to be? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that's another point as well. Have we ever noticed how, like, when the question is brought up about Tim's sexuality, Tim has never, or at least for my record, he has never actually addressed why he has this thing. I know he says about, oh yeah, I like to take things slowly, you know, it's just the way I am, I'm from the South, and I need that, but that's not a reason. I'm not buying that as a reason. That just sounds like a justified explanation with no sense behind it. It sounds like somebody's justifying something by saying a whole lot of words, but ain't really saying nothing. Give us the legit reason, Tim, but let's continue.
You know what I'm saying?
Be that I need to go to the doctor for low T. I agree, maybe that's an issue. I don't know.
Do you find
Men, given the opportunity to be with Louisa, would jump on that, and I understand. I even said she's out of my league. She's gorgeous, and that's the one thing she can't take from me.
Bro, Tim is doing the same thing he's done every time. He's trying to make himself look good, trying to pretend he did a good job. You didn't do. You think I'm handsome?
Yes, you're hot.
I'm nervous now.
Don't act like teen. You don't want a healthy relationship because you have the opportunity with me.
Let's talk about that statement. You don't want a healthy relationship. It made me think, is it maybe a case where Tim does not have a healthy relationship within himself? Is Tim maybe struggling with loving himself, knowing himself, recognizing who he is as a person? Because look at this way, right? There was a part in the episode where Tim says to Louisa, you don't know who I am. Like, you really don't know, because if you knew who I am, then obviously you know that I'm not gay. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm not gay. And obviously she responds by saying, well, obviously now I definitely don't know you. And I do wonder though, because we do know that Tim is somebody that has things structured in a way where people have to pander to him. You know, I've never seen Tim do anything that necessarily involves him compromising for anybody else. It's always people compromising for him. That's how he addresses himself. That's how he carries himself. It's always a matter of people have to do for me, not me do for them. That is the general drift of Tim. So it made me wonder, does Tim have this crazy wall around himself where he's protecting himself so much, where he doesn't want reality to hit him of who he really is as a person? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that, yes, he is gay. But at the end of the day, though, I do wonder, is Tim struggling with the idea of just loving himself? Because the guy is predominantly never happy for the most part. Each time we see him, the guy always looks worn down. He always looks tired. He always looks like he just doesn't give a damn about life. He just looks like he just doesn't give a damn about anything for the most part. He's just always like, yeah, guys. Yeah, you know, yeah. And his whole demeanor is just so like, at first I used to be like, his demeanor's, at first I was like, I feel like he gives them a demeanor or like a mannerisms as if he's better than everybody else. But now I think about it, I'm thinking, and you know the whole, people say he's got the thing where he looks like he's always snaring his nose on other people, whatnot. But then I thought about it after that comment, and I said to myself, maybe it's just a case of where he's just so laid back to the point where he just doesn't care about anything anymore in life. He's just like, yeah. I mean, listen, I look at it this way. I know for me, if I have moments where I'm just super chilled and super laid back and I just want to relax and I just want nothing to bother me, I can definitely have like a persona like that can give off as if like I just don't care about anything and I'm just like cold as hell. You know, but I'm aware of that. What is Tim aware of? I don't know if Tim knows who he really is, and I don't know if Tim is stopping himself from knowing who he is, because really and truly, this man, there's questions, but not questions that I should ask him or anybody else. There's questions that he needs to ask himself and he needs to address to himself. That is something that I've observed based on that comment, because I was like, Nonetheless, though, let me know what you're thinking down below. Do you think I'm onto something, or am I just talking a whole lot of bungee, bamba, bumble, the way Tim likes to talk a whole lot of bungee, bamba, bumble? And I have no idea where they just came from. I just made it up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.